AIR is Artists in Recovery. It's a community interest company that we set up a little while ago now, and what it does is curates exhibitions of artwork from artists that are in recovery from addiction. That might be drugs or alcohol or damaging behaviour, but it was set up to be somewhere they can come to with their work. We'll help them exhibit it, sell it, and create a community where they can talk to each other and help each other. And that was the initial idea, just as a sort of someone to help them be what they want to be in terms of their art.
Too many people see the addict in the street and think it's a life choice, but it's most certainly not, and it's generally derived from trauma. And yeah, I'd like to try and kind of break some of the stigma of addiction and connect as well. And all of my art is done kind of at home in this insular kind of environment that I was in all of my life, and it's nice to be able to share that with people.
To have an exhibition, I'd put a little one on in the library and found out how much there was involved in it, and how much you have to do to make things look good. And so I felt really overwhelmed, and yeah, so to have somebody there and to know that there were other people who've been around in this world for a lot longer than I have, and I can go, how'd you do this? I'm panicking about this. This is going to be awful. And they can just go, no, it's fine. You can do this, and this. And you're like, oh, okay, what do I panic about now? Not having anything to panic about. Yeah, so I'm really excited.
It started really because we knew there were a large number of highly successful, talented, experienced artists that came from a recovery background. We knew just from our own circle of people in recovery that was the case. So what we wanted to do was show the depth of talent and skill there was in the recovery community, that it wasn't just basket weaving and finger painting. You know, we've got PhD artists, we've got lecturers in fine art from universities, we've got fully employed graphic designers that are working in industry that are artists in recovery. And we've got some less professional people as well. We've got people who are first-time exhibitors, but they're all producing work to a really good standard, and that's what we wanted to showcase.
The AIR project is one that I'm quite enthusiastic about. Normally, I wouldn't break my anonymity other than to friends, and I avoid collectives of artists usually, but for this one it seemed right to be part of and celebrate, I guess, 12-step recovery, and the fact that other artists managed to get sober, stay sober, or recover from all manner of addictions, and that that's great. So for the first time I've kind of said, well, why not? It's about time. Come out of the closet.
I was really drawn to being part of this exhibition for two reasons. Firstly, the venue is a beautiful space. A lot of my work focuses on spirituality, and the piece that I'm working on for this exhibition draws from Christian imagery, and I thought that the backdrop of the cathedral would be an incredible space for it, and I'm really privileged to be a part of it and looking forward to it with butterflies. But the other reason that I'm really looking forward to it is it's going to be really wonderful being in a collaborative exhibition where I have the assurance for the opening nights. We don't have to kind of worry about whether it's a safe place for people. It's definitely going to be somewhere where everyone who is participating gets to enjoy it and celebrate it without the usual, oh no wine for me, thank you. And I think that's going to be a really nice opportunity kind of going forward. I love taking part in group exhibitions, I love exhibiting my work kind of solo, but there's something really nice about being able to stand with a community that you're part of and really celebrate what you do. So I'm really thrilled about this.
It's not all about their recovery necessarily. Doing the art is definitely part of their recovery, but the subject might not be, you know? You are going to see landscape paintings, you are going to see stuff that doesn't connect with recovery as such. So you'll see a really, really broad variety of art.
It's really nice to be involved in a group of artists, because the exhibition itself, the first exhibition that we've got anyway, it isn't about recovery in a sense. It's artists doing their thing, but they just happen to be in recovery, and that helps, you know. I was thinking about it the other day, thinking about what work have I ever done that's been about recovery, and there have been some things that I've done with groups which have been about recovery, because that's what the groups were about. But with my own work, you know, unless there's some kind of Freudian thing going on there that I'm not looking at too closely, I wouldn't say specifically any of my work. Oh, that's not true. Some of the songs that I've done have been about recovery, but not me sculptures and paintings. But I'd have to look deeper into the paintings. Somebody else could see it, maybe Zach couldn't. But yeah, being in the AIR group, we've had a couple of meetings, and I know some of the artists that are involved. So it'll be nice to reconnect with them, and I'm looking forward to doing the thing after the exhibition, you know, to see what comes next, because it's the very early days. I don't know where it's going to go, but it could be really great, you know.
Being part of the exhibition at the cathedral with other artists who are in recovery, I guess I'm trying to think what my main motive is, and it's something to do with being completely visible. You know, like there are many types of people in recovery, but some want to kind of keep their recovery very much hidden. People don't know about it. I've never been like that. I think that I've always felt that the more open I am, including places where I work, I don't care who knows, the more healthy that feels to me. And it's not like in an egotistical way, everybody like talk about me. I'm really not like that. But I think to be open about something is one of the ways that you break down a stigma, you know, because the stigma is with drug addicts and alcoholics that you know, they did it themselves, they've got no self-discipline, they're weak, they're this, that and the other. And nothing could be further from the truth, actually, you know. So that was one of the reasons, you know, I say, okay, I'm an artist, but I'm also somebody who owes his life to the fact that I recovered began to recover when I was 29. And for a group of artists to do that, it was Mark Anderson who came up with the idea. He invited me, and I think it's a great idea. I think he's onto a really good, healthy way of drawing people's attention to addiction in the arts. Yeah.
I hope that we'll have a really successful first exhibition at the cathedral. We're going to use that as a model for future exhibitions. Next year we'd like to do one in Sunderland, one in Durham. The year after perhaps we'll also do some in Manchester, in Liverpool, and really sort of take it as a model that we can take to other cities, other recovery communities, and link them all together so that we end up with an artist community that's called Artists in Recovery that has a national sort of network, and get them all talking to each other, exhibiting together, and in the process promote recovery from addiction. Show the world that addiction doesn't have to be the end of your life. Recovery from addiction can be the start of something really amazing, and that is what Artisan Recovery is all about.